Okay, welcome to, I think we're on part 6 of our Sunless Sea playthrough. Let's dive in and see where we are at. Last time we ended up leaving the Empire of Hands, which had been our sort of main objective, just because it was the Admiralty's strategic information quest. But we were here now. We explored the Empire of Hands. We sailed to all the different islands. Apparently it's made up of like 4 or 5 different island complexes. We lost our pants or something, or actually all our clothing, to a mischievous little girl, half monkey, half human. Well, not half monkey, but she acts like a monkey. She's been raised by monkeys, I should say. What else happened in the end? So I went over briefly the sort of the stuff that happened at the end of last session, but let's just do a quick, take stock of a quick thing of where we're at here. We started, I believe, we're here at the Khan's Glory. We hit Khan's Shadow, Nuncio. What town is this? Wisdom. Scrimshander, Port Cecil. We went to the wreck of the Nocturne where we lost one of our crew. Went to the Nativity in the Savior's Rock area. There's some spiders there. We spent a good portion of the playthrough sailing back and forth between the Shelanet Shableport and the Gaunt Pole, where we were ferrying barrels of rotten flesh, I suppose. Although it led to a riot after the people that were buying the rotted flesh rebelled in some fashion. I can't remember exactly what happened. Maybe it was someone got sick or something. I'll have to look back and see what exactly had happened there. Acefall, we advanced our cannoneers mission of building a cannon, I guess. It sounded what it sounded like. You needed to get a... What did he need to get? It was like a Judgment's Egg. It said it might be in Iron, which we haven't found yet. And then we have to go to the Iron Republic, which... Again, I keep saying this, that the thing we're trying to do for the entire playthrough is the Boke of Sharp's objective, which is described as raise the anarchist to prominence. I haven't found anyone in any of the towns so far that, to me, feels like they would be described as anarchists. Like, again, I thought it was the Iron Republic because they look like they're kind of anarchists in the artwork and some of the flavor text, but it wasn't described that way directly, and I didn't see any options that looked like they might advance that part of the story. Like, so there was one option when you had more than 70 terror that we couldn't do because we never had more than 70 terror when we were in Iron Republic. So I thought, well, maybe that's the thing that like starts the ambition or starts the condition to do the Boke of Sharps. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for that because I don't know if it's DLC related, if it's part of the Submariner DLC, or if it was part of the base game. Submariner DLC is all the underwater ports we've been visiting, like Rack. We were just in Scrimshander and the Gaunt Pole. And also we've been doing that mission where we go into the Abyss sections. I think that's also one of the DLC endgame condition or ending conditions, but again, I don't remember if I've done it ever before, and I didn't see any notes in my log that indicated we had done it before. Like, there's some things in here that tell you like what you've done on your previous characters, like this, the family Bible, a previous captain, your limited lineage once achieved immortality or turned it down. Previous captain, your lineage found and buried their body's bones or a substitute. So I don't see anything in that talks about. And again, I really haven't played this game in like I was estimating 10 years, maybe it was 8 to 10 years. I don't know. It's been quite a while since I played the DLC for this game, so I honestly don't remember all of the things that I've done in the past. I got a lot of port reports. We have some trinkets. Oh, we picked up some spider eggs from Savior's Rocks. They said take them to London. I hope the spiders aren't trying to like take over London or something. I'm not exactly sure what that mission is going to entail when we get there, but oh yeah, I wanted to look. We've been turning in our strategic information to the Admiralty. There's also these other options. Okay, so you need 2 strategic information to do these other options. Okay, so maybe we should stop turning in our... Because we've just now gotten to 40 mirrors, so we can actually assemble vital intelligence now, which I think is more valuable than 2 strategic intelligence. We looked at this in the very first play session, but like again, these conditions were all so far off back then that I kind of had forgotten about it. But now that we're actually at the point where we could do these things, We should probably just keep our... Let's make a note of that. Okay, so London... Don't turn in strategic intelligence. Use to make vital intelligence. I mean, turning in the strategic intelligence is one of the better ways to make money in the beginning of the game. You get like 150 echoes or whatever, but I think we're past the point where we need... Like, it would be more interesting to see what these options are now. Okay, yeah, I had totally forgotten about that. I'm glad I was looking through. This is why it's worth to take stock when you start a new session here to make sure you've remembered all the things you're doing. Seal of Red Science, Burning Glyphs. Oh, this was the thing we got on Acefall. This was part of the Cannoneers mission to create a weapon, it sounded like. So we got that chunk of meteorite that fell through the ground up above and the ceiling of the Undersea and landed in Acefall. So there's like a hole in the ceiling that causes sunlight to fall here. It's like the only place in the Undersea that we found that there's actual sunlight. Although we've seen there's an artificial sun as the Dawn machine down here. Anyway, I was just going over some of the things here. Anything else that looks interesting? We finished the tour that we were taking the tomb colonists on, but we have to get them back to Venderbite. We did lose one of the tomb colonists. We should try to find a way to get another one, because it sounded like we would get more money if we brought all 12 back, or maybe we can't even satisfy the mission, I don't know. But anyways, we haven't seen any options to get another tomb colonist that I'm aware of, so yeah. Okay, so today's main session, we are very low on crew. You can't make your boat go at full speed if you lose less than let's pause the game here because we're actually losing food while we sit here. If we lose one more crew, we're at the minimum here where we can actually man our ship. So we need to get back to port basically. We need to get back to London and really kind of repair our hull. We're doing okay on supplies and fuel, but we need to get more crew. We need to repair our hull. So like I said, I did find this repair ship option. I actually don't know how this works. I don't remember ever clicking on it. If I did, I didn't do it very often. But it's not available to us now because our hull is not at 50% or better. It's not too far off 50%, but it's not at 50%. We did pick up a pneumatic rat sender. Repairs 10 hull instantly, but that's not a significant amount when we're at 100 out of 300. I mean, 10 hull is not a big deal. It was actually the cousin. This item was the cousin of I think it was some of the people on the postmaster aisle. Where was that? Nuncio. Yeah, it was like an island of postmaster, or I mean, mail carriers, postmen. Well, disgruntled postmen. It sounded like, but she wanted to leave the island, and so she joined our ship. I guess she's a repair item, but anyways. We do want to keep our terror. We're at 61 terrors. We want to keep our light on when we are above the terror ticks here. We will do some limited exploration. Maybe we could check out this thing. But we really want to focus on getting back to London and avoiding combat. We do want to pick up a... Actually, we definitely want to go to Polythreum because the mission for the... We're done with the shady cook. We can delete him from the... It was the mission for the mechanic. We need a clay man from Polythreum. We did pick up the mirror catch box. We got one from Acefall, I think. We have this. We need to go to Hunter's... So we have to get the clay man and then go to Hunter's Keep. So that's next. That's also back by London. Just do a quick scout through here. I'm not exactly sure what this Anth note was about. We'll have to go back to Anth and see if we can figure out what that was about. Chapel lives, we haven't found that yet. We don't have any more live specimens at the moment. I'll just delete this talk to kind of organize my notes just a tad. I could do like italics or something for people, just to like kind of make it like this is a person, this is a person, this is a person. This is in London. I can like move this to the London section, just kind of organize my notes a little bit. The exile is a person. The cannoneer is a person. We could make an Iron Republic section here. Arrive with greater than 70 terror. We finished the strategic information. Well, actually, we finished the mission. We didn't get strategic information out of it because we didn't get access to the court, I guess. So we couldn't get the strategic information, but we did complete or fail the quest, whichever way you want to look at it. The collector, I don't know who that is, but anyway, we need to go to Undercrow, deliver collector. I think it might be one of our passengers right now. Campaigner is one of our people. So vendor bite we need to return to. Genial magician is one of our officers. Yeah, just trying to clean up our notes here a little bit. Okay, that looks good. I like to bold the place names. I guess I decided to italicize the officer names. Okay, well let's head back to Polythreme. I don't think I'm gonna go here. Just because I really don't want to lose. I don't know what it is. I think it's an underwater city, but like I said, I really just want to get back to London safely. That's like my prime goal for the beginning of this session. Just get back to London safely. Without losing any crew. And without dying in combat in some way. So we'll focus on that. At the expense of doing... We'll do more missions. We just want to be safe for now. We'll do more exploring. There's a lot of stuff over here we still need to explore. All this section, up in here. So we'll be back in this area, no doubt. And there's more over here we haven't explored. So let's just focus on the most important thing, which is making it back to London safely. And then next time, like I said, our next voyage maybe, or it doesn't have to be our next voyage, but next time we're in the area, we'll do more of an exploration. Like I said, we're getting to the point where we can afford to stock up on a decent number of supplies and fuels, so we can actually do more far-reaching voyages. Like I said, some of our earlier voyages were curtailed, although we did end up going this way, curtailed dramatically just because we ran out of money for supplies and stuff. But because I think we're at the point where we can actually buy enough fuel and supplies to do some larger scale. I think there's still, speaking of delivering stuff, I think there's still stuff at the salt lines we can deliver. And I do want to go to Gator's Morn. Anyways. Send our Z-Bat out. What's this thing? No islands, but there's something over here. Looks like a big pearl, or maybe it's this is probably a mushroom. Everything in this game is mushrooms. Yeah, it's probably a mushroom. There's a lot of mushrooms in this game. The Utter Shroom. We can probably do this one. It's pretty close. Let's see. We gotta find the entrance to it. It's not on the top. Covered the Utter Shroom. Oh, that's it right there. That little dot. Okay, we'll go into there. Oops, I'll try and turn the lights on. Again, we're gonna heavily prioritize safety. We're not gonna do anything that sounds like we might lose crew. The Utter Shroom, the queenly core of this spore-haunted sea. Climb the fungal fiber ladders to its summit. Shaggy, suspicious villagers scratch a living here amidst endless clouds of spores and scurrying mobs of plant-animal hybrids. None of them ever leave. Monsters, one explains darkly. The full of monsters. We can visit the village for something awaits. We can trade honey. We do have some honey. We've been seeing this option on a lot of different towns about delivering Blemmingans. This must be where you start that. Gather intelligence. Let's go ahead and grab the port report. What happens here on top of a mushroom the size of Marlborough? A slow survey. The villagers live in a shabby but sufficient life. The Utter Shroom provides. They are secretive, taciturn, incurious. Ships rarely visit. There's only one of it. For now. Oh, okay. So it sounds like it wants to reproduce or I get what's the term for mushroom spawning? It has spores. Mushrooms deliver spores in order to reproduce. So that's probably what this is all about. Well, this says no. It says it's about the shroomers are desperate for diversion that honey can bring. Although it says they're vague. Supplies. Could experiment with a strange catch. Trade a strange catch for a live specimen. That's actually a good trade. We'll probably do that. I mean, I like to do more story stuff, but this is actually pretty useful. There's one thing in our encourage your Blemmington Gallanter to explore. You might feel a kinship with the place. It is very mushroomy. There hasn't been any like dialogue options with this guy. We did this at the very first session. It's just like it was just a little chase sequence where he ran around the engine room, but nothing actually happened from it. Okay, let's encourage the Blemmington Galvanter to explore. It might feel kinship with the place. It's certainly very mushroomy. Unaccustomed silence. Your ever-present Blemmington is, for once, nowhere to be seen. The engine room is quiet. Your maps are exactly as you left them. Not one is defaced or crumpled into a ball. Finally, you spot the tip of a tendril poking out from under a pile of unwashed clothing. Your Blemmington indicates that under no circumstances whatsoever will it be emerging. What could be so bad about the outer shroom? Did the other mushrooms bully it? Okay. So he doesn't want to go here. Let's do this trade honey. We do have 2 firkins of prisoners honey. Honey, a Shroomer explains, everyone wants honey. Life in the outer shroom is unvarying and occasionally deadly poisonous. Shroomers are desperate for a diversion that honey can bring, but vague on what they will pay in return. Supplies, though, at least. You can always use more supplies. Blimigans! The Shroomers pile up slabs of sweet mauve shroom flesh. It's nourishing, although it does taste rather like muddy horse. They also generously throw in a Blemmington, a whistling, eyeless, mobile fungus thing. Problems? Throw it in the sea. No room? Throw it in the sea, she shrugs. Probably it'd swim. If not, plenty of room in the sea. Gained a docile Blemmington. It has claws, it has a fierce double beak, but just now it seems disinclined to use them. It sounds like the outer shroom wants to... We can actually do more of this? Okay. Sure, why not? More supplies. More docile Blemmingtons. We can trade our live catch. I think we are going to do this, because like I said, there was something in London in our study where we needed a live specimen in order to craft one of the stat items that were part of the Song of the Sea, which I think is our ambition as our character. Like I said, we'll work towards that. It is our character's ambition, so that is the correct thing to do from a roleplay perspective. Although my personal goal is to try to do this raise the anarchist thing, but maybe our character doesn't know that yet because that's sort of a meta out of the game goal. So we'll play him as if he's trying to achieve his ambition of writing the story of the sea. Plus, I mean, interesting things will happen along the way as we do so. New growth. Within the hour, purple mycelium spreads throughout the flesh, colonizing your catch with a new vascular system. Another hour, and the catch begins moving again. In the 3rd hour, it starts rhyming. Before it begins composing couplets, you whack it in a jar and store it in your hold. Okay, so it was like a dead chunk of fish, and then the mushroom spores colonized it, and it became a live specimen. It's a little, ominous. No shops here. That's a little unfortunate, but we don't need supplies and fuel at the moment, so... Okay, well that was the outer shroom, I guess. I guess we're off. Head up here to Polythreme. We want to get a Clayman, so we'll go up this way. Like I say, we could definitely do this, but like I said, I'm not going to go too far out of my way. We'll probably need to buy a little bit more fuel before we get back anyway, so I don't want to... I really want to get back and just make sure we have more. Found the wreck of the Miko. Is that like the wreck of the Nocturne, where it's like an actual thing you can interact with? Let's see. There's no docking indicator here, so I guess not. There's a ship. Again, we're not interested in fighting. Our hull is low. We're just going to turn off our lights and steer the other direction here. Sometimes when we were fighting earlier in the playthrough in this voyage, we were losing crew whenever we got hit. So we definitely don't want to lose any more crew. Try to defog this one section and then head over to Polythreme. We're doing a pretty good job defogging the map. Looks like we've got about 60% maybe, give or take. Okay, we can turn our lights back on. Doesn't look like that ship is chasing us anymore. Or it was never really chasing us, but it's not within range anymore. Okay, so we need to get at least one clayman for the tireless mechanic mission, so let's make sure we can try to do that. Although we didn't bring a lot of... Well, we have some extra stuff. We have some stuff in our hold we might be able to trade for the claim. I don't actually know what the... Here is Screaming. We can cure the sharpness you gained in Anth. Enough time in Polythreme and your sharpness will dissolve back to flesh. It does not change your capacity or remove any permanent advantage you may carry. That seems like we'll probably do it then. We definitely have the poor report. We don't need an expensive way to reduce terror. Ah, here we go. So I think these might be the clay men. Ah, so here's the Blemmington thing. Oh, we do have two of them. We may as well put one ashore, I suppose. Oh, now we can talk with the king, because now we have these watchful curios as well. Okay, so there's quite a few things we can do here. So these sharpnesses we gained in Anth, if I recall, there was like 4 to 6 actual different ways your flesh can become sharp. And then I think we used all the ones we currently could do with our current sharpness. So I think this is actually a good option, so the next time we go back to Anth we can take on the different sharpnesses we haven't tried yet. The option to remove the sharpness in Anth would have given us a wound, which is a bad thing in this game. If you get 3 wounds, you die. So this seems like a free way to do it, so yeah, let's just do this. Warm and flexible. Yeah, so we lost the acumination of tongue, the barbing of the lungs, and the sharpness of the spleen. So we had 3 different sharpnesses. Our lungs, our tongue, and our spleen were sharp, and they are no longer warm and flexible again. The blood flows, the flesh bends. Your discipline and skills decrease, but your desire and feeling return. Okay. We definitely want to carry claymen. So we do need one clayman to do the tireless mechanic thing. Maybe this is just consumes one of these guys. I'm not sure. But we did this before. We delivered them for some money last time. Putting on shore, who knows what the living furniture will make of it? Sure. Curious alliances. The last you see of your violet murder fungus. It seems to be flirting with a fanged water pump. Strange bedfellows. Okay, so you've sown Blemmingtons on Polythreme. Who knows what will come with it? Still have one more. We've graciously transported Blemmingtons to this many islands. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the audience with the King of the 100 Hearts. The clay broker, leaning on his copper staff, examines you coolly. The king will see your little friend, he says. No, he won't see you, not just now. He gestures for you to hand him the watchful curio. He'll see your little friend, but he won't see you, not just now. That night, the hill of Polythreme quakes. The words on the walls uncurl themselves. The birth cries are everywhere heard as claymen sit up, opening incurious eyes, awaiting their tithing to London. The clay broker waits on the quayside. On the flat palm of his hand, the watchful curio squats. It is unchanged. Our regards to the stone, is all he says. Okay. So, what did that do? Nothing, I guess. We were not able to see the king. Do we just have to give him more of these? It's not clear that that advanced anything. The king will see your little friend. He won't see you, not just now. Did we need these watchful curios for anything else? Let's see. Watchful. Just do a quick scan through if we needed. This is the thing we just looked at. Oh, we have a wake. Oh, so it converted a watchful curio into a wakeful idol. Oh, so it woke it up basically. Oh, because they're clay men. Like they are basically animated statues. So they've like animated the watchful curio, it made it into a wakeful idol. Didn't explain exactly how. I guess we'll do more of this. I mean, I don't. Yeah, so you've lost a watchful curio but gained a wakeful idol. Are wakeful idols more interesting? Let's see, wakeful idol. Hmm. We'll do one more. We'll keep one watchful curio in our inventory, but we'll do one more of these. Yeah, it doesn't indicate. Okay, so it goes to the watchful curio goes to see the king, and then it comes back as a wakeful idol, but nothing else happens. Okay, well, we are clay. This thing is interesting. It equips to your auxiliary, gives you more engine power. I'm assuming engine power makes you go faster. Does it say exactly anywhere what engine power does? Weapon statistics. You know, like the engines we have give 1500 engine power. 300 is a decent amount of our money, but we can afford it. I like the idea of minus crew and plus 5 iron and engine power. Like having less crew is actually better than having more crew. Okay, yeah, I'll buy this thing. Oh, it equips to your auxiliary slot. Oh, I thought it was aft for some reason. Oh, well, that's less interesting than I thought it was, but oh well. Still, so we've basically lost 2 iron by unequipping our anatomical cabinet, but we've gained minus 3/4. So now we can actually lose 1 crew and still, because now we'll be less than, if we had 14, we'd still be less than half. So that's the benefit of having minus 3 crew slots there. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know if that was the most effective way to spend money, but we're not going to sell our 1 Stygian ivory. I forget how much we bought that for. This isn't like an opportunity to make money, is it? Stygian. What did we buy this Stygian ivory for? You can buy them for 27 in the con shop. That's probably what we did. Yeah, so we bought a con shop for 27. So I think I talked about this before. So we could make 3 echoes if we stocked up like on as much Stygian ivory as we could, and then came back here and sold it here. That could be a way to make some amount of money if we had enough hold space and initial spending money to do it. Let's see, Godfall had something to do with wine, I think. I think we used all our wine though. We did actually have some wine in our hold, but we used it for some other thing. So we don't have it anymore. I don't think there's anything left in Godfall other than wine. Oh wait, 5 Foxfire candles. Okay, so yeah, we don't have that either. Yeah, so 5 mushroom wine sells for 150 echoes in Godfall. You can trade hunting trophies for tails, although I don't, unless you really need tails, that's not particularly good. There's always a poor report we could get. But I'm not super interested in going to Godfall. Although it would lead us also up to Pigmode Isle, which we could stop at again, Gator's Mourn. Let's just do some defogging. I feel like if we always follow the same routes we already know, we're never gonna... What is this? Overheard at Z. This is like a weird pop-up. I don't know if I've ever seen this kind of a pop-up in the game before. It's like a conversation between 2 of our officers. I've devised a camouflage based on what used to be based on that used by wreck ships. I thought with your history, magician, that I have something to contribute? Well, how about this? What do you think the Admiralty will do to our little ship if they see it all dressed up like a wrecker? This is just a prototype. I hadn't thought that far yet. Perhaps you'd better start. Oh, gain 5 fragments. Okay, I've never heard... I don't remember if I've ever seen a pop-up like that in this game. I do actually want to go to Rack. Maybe we'll just go straight to Rack. Cause we convinced a captain in Khan's Glory to come sail to Rack. I am interested in advancing that mission. More interested than I am in going to Godfall. So yeah, let's just go straight over here to Rack, I suppose. And then up to the Salt Lions, and then back to London. Although we do want to go to Hunter's Keep to do the Tireless Mechanic mission before we turn in the Clayman to London. But we can always just not turn in the claimant on it. We don't like have to do that first, I don't think. See, how close are we? We need to go south just a tad to get to Rack, although not really any. A little low on fuel, but I think 10% or 10 is enough to get back to London probably. Something underwater to the north. Well, I was already going to explore over here, and I'm not as interested in exploring dangerous underwater things at the moment. Although we do have a little bit more breathing room now that we have basically one crew we can afford to lose. Something swimming down here. But again, I'm not interested in combat at this point. Again, there's like this UI bug with the scaling, right? Their health bars appear somewhere else. It's hard to know how much health they have until you get closer to them. Or maybe it's not a bug, maybe it's an intended mechanic, and I don't know. Seems like a bug, but I'm not going to turn the UI scaling off. I wouldn't be able to read any of the text. This game's relatively old. It came out like 10 years ago or something like we talked about, so it's not the most technically advanced game, that's for sure. It doesn't need to be though. Again, it's more of a story game. We entered the midst of the Sea of Autumn. I don't recall anybody ever talking to us about the Sea of Autumn. It is not unusual to find yourself in unsuspected tears. Okay, so we found something here. The Wallowing Isle. We have to check this out. Or the Swallowing Isle, sorry, not wallowing. Is there a port here? Usually the bat things are ports, but I don't see any in this section at least. Melting Isles. No obvious ports. I don't see any over here. This looks like there's gotta be a port here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. And we could have gone south around there, but we'll just go along the north side here. There's a ship up there we don't want to fight with at the moment. We have something awaits. Let's see what the Melting Isles has to offer us. The Mangrove College. The wise and wicked seek sanctuary here, where the fruits are plenty and the woods wild. A streaming sprawl of parasympathetic vegetation in a village, well, barely a village. Old walls, roofs in disrepair, stilts leaning dangerously. It looks to have been assembled by drunks in a hurry. Dock carefully. Oh, there's a new officer here. There's also something to do with the tomb colonists. Okay, so here's something awaits. Eat, drink, be merry. You can reach out for a fruit of edible fungus. Pick it up, it's already fermented. Gather supplies if we haven't propagated. If we had candles, we could enter the Wispways. I'm not gonna do that. First of all, we don't have candles. Unpick the mystery of other lands. We'll convert these items into a secret. 77 fragments and 7 distant memories of distant shores to make one secret. Is that a good thing? So it basically just converts extra stories and memories into secrets. It's a good thing to know about if we like need secrets for some reason, but I'm not sure that we necessarily need more secrets more than we need these other things, so I'm not going to do that at the moment. Here's more of the Bloomington stuff, although it sounds like that will close off some of these other options. It'll get rid of this option, because it says propagation no more than 0. So what, the fungus going to eat all the fruit or something? Okay, let's just go here. We do want more officers. There's no bad reason for officers that I'm aware of. Hello, where are you headed? On second thoughts, I don't mind. Can I come aboard? Yes, I'm an engineer, but I'm an engineer in a hurry. Welcome aboard. If anyone comes looking for me, well, I'm not accepting callers. Can I trust you to pass that on? You don't want them distracting me from my duties. So she's all, see what her stats are. 6 veils, 3 iron, and some engine power. So more iron, but she doesn't have the fuel efficiency. I think I prefer the fuel efficiency. We could dine with her. We'll probably do this in London. I'm not going to do it here. Um, Perhaps you don't entirely trust her, but she keeps the engines turning, and she's hard to dislike. Now you can romance her. If your veils are 77, she has no interest in tediously sincere lovers. Your veils must be 20 points higher than your hearts. Well, they're exactly equal, so that's not close to occurring. Pick up a passenger. The Mangrove College is named for its scholars and philosophers. They have long abandoned civilized comforts for the life of the mind. Sometimes they want civilized comforts back. Okay. The Principles, Port Cecil, black and white and silver. Please take me there. Sooner or later, it doesn't matter. I know how complex the moves can be. This dreamy, furtive fellow is traveling to the Principles of Coral. Okay. Just gonna make a quick note that we have a reason to go to Port Cecil. Port Cecil. Deliver the checkered character. Okay. And as far as our something awaits, we can do beachcombing. Could introduce the Bloomingtons. We only have one Bloomington. Maybe we'll save it for a different place because it sounds like this one's gonna Mary. Let's take a quick look at if I have anything in my notes about this place. What's it called? Mangrove? Mangrove. So we have gather supplies can give you 2 to 4 supplies. Eat, drink, be merry can lower your terror. And then beachcombing is the random. Oops. Is the random mission. Let's lower our terror. I think terror would be the most useful thing we could get rid of. That was eat, drink, and be merry. Yeah, eat, drink, and be merry. The philosophers of the college are not hospitable, but the whole shoreline is bursting with fruit and edible fungus. Reach up and it falls into your hand. Pick it up and it's already fermented. An explosion of taste. I'll also get rid of our hunger, which I guess wasn't that relevant, but I'll make a quick note of that. Minus terror. Remove hunger. That can sometimes be relevant. I mean, it's basically 1 supply. If your hunger is like up to here and you remove it, it's basically the equivalent of 1 supply. Tart morsels and moral taste. Moral tart. The salty tang of seaweed stew. A crawling berry that the locals assure you is a motive plant, not an insect. Eat your fill and drink contemplatively. So we're not going to convert things. We haven't got our port report yet. Sages, scholars, philosophers, naturalists, poets, dreamers, here to pursue their rarefied ideals in a land of muddy fecundity. All shall be well. The thinkers of Mangrove College continue their untroubled and sedentary existence. New schools of philosophy are born and die like bubbles. Extraordinary poetries are written in water. The occasional retired pirate tries and fails to get invited to salons. The philosophers of the swamp debate, squabble, and pray. We also gained a supply. Oh, that's interesting. Don't normally get supplies when you write down your port reports. Okay, so we're not going to do this here. We only have 1. Again, it looks like it might hide some of the options that are... We may do it later if we have a particular reason to, but... let's see, Rosegate, I don't think we... Oh, no, we do have something for the Rosegate guy. We have the ambiguous Eolith, don't we? In our hold? Let's see. No, we don't. Oh yeah, here it is. Ambiguous Eolith. Okay, we could stop by Rosegate, Rack, Salt Lions. We'd also go to Visage, but we've been to Visage a number of times. Not that I am averse to going to it. It's just I want to get back to London at some point here. What have we here? A stoker approaches you in your cabin. Captain, she says, the thing in the hold is dreaming about us. It means us no good at all. Back to work. Tried her foolishness and sent her away. Throw it over the side. I don't think we need to do that. Just gained 1 terror. We'll be sorry. Oh yes, we'll be sorry yet. Well, we're trying to get rid of these tomb colonists, so like we're finished. They finished their tour with us. We need to get some more fuel. Maybe I think either Rosegate or Rack we could probably buy some fuel. Just pick up like 2 more or something. Should be enough to get back to London safely. Give or take. I did like that we got rid of 10 terror. That was actually one of the things I was mildly concerned about was our terror meter filling up. Good amount of defogging here. Got all this stuff defogged. Yeah, we'll hit Rose Cave. We gotta go underwater for this, I believe. Although being underwater is a little more dangerous, so I'm gonna wait until we're a little closer and then go underwater. Let's try it here. No, can't sink here. Seek deeper waters. Okay. I'll try to like over here maybe. What type of ship is that? Is that a pirate pinnace? I don't want to fight anything that's more dangerous. What I want to do is go in the water. There we go. The truth in dreams. So we've had this before. We can sleep. We could listen to our dreams. What you learn. This will probably be terror. But our heart's quality is pretty low here, so I guess we'll listen to them. Although we're going to lose our something awaits and we're about to go into town. I mean, our heart's quality is so poor. This is like a dream mission. I suppose we can listen to our dreams. Okay, it didn't actually consume our something awaits. We did gain 5 terror though and 20 fragments. A dream of sand. The ship crosses a desert and not a Z. Black sand whispers against the hull, sand like grains of glittering night. Your crew sit on a deck at a long table lined with candles, eating a rich red feast. Ooh, a red feast. A reckoning, one remarks, as she spears a goblet of meat with her fork. It is not to be postponed indefinitely. To the north, a light bulges, hernially above the horizon, a searing kind of starlight. Okay. It was 180. He has a Corvette. I'm glad we didn't fight that. If it was one of those little pirate pinnaces that have like 60 hit points, it would have been, or 40 hit points even. There's like a noise being made here. Okay, let's see. We could put the Bloomington here. There are many nooks where a mushroom could hide. I wouldn't be opposed to that, I suppose. Get the port report for sure. We'll turn in the ambiguous Aeolus. Straightforward challenge. Extracting the robust flavor. Delicate workshop tools won't do for a flavor like this, the crotchety tobacconist says. I'll need to make some new ones. Can you bring me some particularly sturdy materials? Okay. He weighs an eolith in his hand before tossing it into the air. Dense, sturdy. He catches and licks the stone, and well flavored. Perfect. These will make fine tools. I'll get to work immediately. He turns and strides up the stairs to his workshop. Hammer strikes ring through the floorboards above, cultivating a robust flavor. We didn't have any of the other things he needs, right? We don't. Okay, what is this? Wait, did I click the? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what this is, but oh, I see. This is the next step. We're helping prepare the robust flavor. I see. Okay. A thumping resonates from the workshop above. We need to open the crate, the crotchety tobacconist says. The clayman's already in chains, but we need him on the workbench. I hope you're ready. The crotchety tobacconist and his apprentice stand by with chains as you pry open the crate. An unfinished clayman glares from within and growls as he begins removing planks. Once you've opened it halfway, he roars and hurls his weight forward. The wood splinters, the box breaks, and you sidestep his charge, letting him run directly into the workbench. From there, it's easy to bind him to the table with heavy chains. Well dodged, citizen. Reminds me when I was young and spry. His apprentice stifles a giggle. Okay. We can now harvest the robust flavor. The chisel rests on the glass counter. The crotchety tobacconist smiles. We have the tools and the clayman ready, citizen. Shall we? Well, suppose we shall. Suppose we shall. Breaking down, the unfinished clayman struggles futilely against his bonds. He shouts threats he cannot fulfill. We will require both powder and shavings, the crotchety tobacconist says. We should provide everything we need for a truly robust flavor. We can shatter him by taking up hammer and chisel to crack him where he's been marked, or let the apprentice do the work. Okay, well, I mean, we're not a squeamish character. We're a veteran of a war, after all. Crack on! You work in a miasma of bitter dust and floral cigar smoke. At first, the clayman shouts drown out the tap of the hammer. Soon, only the hammer rings out. The crotchety tobacconist grabs a fistful of clay shavings from the shattered left arm. He rubs the clay into a fine powder, sniffs it, and beams. Oh, this is exactly. Robust, but with a fierce bite to it. This will get into your blood. Thank you, citizen. This is magnificent. The taste of fecund earth. A robust flavor. Okay, but we don't have the romantic literature or the unread log yet. Can't do these other missions. We did unlock this new mission. What is this? Challenge the tobacconist to a game of cards. Business is slow today. Shop is not on the typical trader house. The tobacconist may well appreciate a game. You can attend a free public lecture. And we can put the Blemmington ashore. Oh, we'll do these options. Let's try them to a game of cards first. Magnanimous in victory. We can lose terror. Okay, so it's basically exchanging 5 echoes for 2 terror reduction. The game is close, but his set of jacks drives off your beloved, earning him the victory. He relaxes back in his chair and puffs contentedly at the particularly fat cigar. Well played, citizen, he says, pushing a box of cigars over to you. Well played. Have one of these. He closes his eyes and draws deeply before emitting a steady stream of hazy smoke. It smells like a London fireplace, like home. Okay, so this is just a way to reduce terror, it sounds like, if you're in danger of terror. We're heading back to London anyway, so... Although I would like to get back without the nightmare, but we have some restful nights still, so... yeah, we can use our something wait here, I guess, to do a free public lecture. The crotchety tobacconist has been developing a series of lectures to share with the public. And now that the public has finally arrived, is that us? Are we the public? Open to the public. The crotchety tobacconist retrieves a yellowed bundle of notes from under his counter. You don't know how long I've waited for this day, citizen. Let your crew sit in if they want. History of Rosegate. If you'd like, I can share with you the colorful and inspiring history of our shop, or how to roll a cigar. I can teach you to make a perfectly ordinary cigar. We can learn about the history first. Oh. Standing at a lectern before the hearth, the tobacconist recites his lofty account of Rosegate. Over 20 years ago, he opened his shop on the Z floor. Why there? It was a necessity brought upon us not only by the demands of our art, but by society's refusal to appreciate what must be done in its pursuit. But even without customers, they thrived. The advances we've made in the tobacconist's art are unrivaled, and while that is thanks to my own genius and creative passion, as well as the help of my apprentice, the greatest credit must go to my patron. When he first heard of the underwater cigar, he didn't scorn me as London had. He saw the possibility of impossibility. He saw the beauty, and without his support, Rosegate would not rest in the Z. Rosegate would have been able to experiment with 10,000 flavors. Rosegate would not be the home of the underwater cigar. 5 whole fragments. Not very exciting. I guess I'll put the Blemmington ashore here. I don't see any reason. We only have one of them, but... The Blemmington wriggles excitedly. Tendrils flick in and out as if tasting the air of Rosegate. Abruptly it scurries beneath an ostentation display case and vanishes. We've now propagated 2 Blemmingtons abroad. Hopefully that won't cause any problems. We do need a little bit of fuel. It's 20 here. What is it at Rack? Rack. Fuel at Rack is also 20. We'll buy 2. That should be enough to get back to London. Don't have the option to do any of these things. This is related to Uttershroom, which is what the Blemmington just came from. There's something you can do. You can sell a Uttershroom spore roll. A fruit, a jewel, a tear. Leave that distinction to the botanist. Oh, because he's going to make tobacco out of these things, I guess. Oh, the heart melting is. We saw that those are things you can get in Station 3 when you deliver suits and Cooper long boxes, potentially. Okay, well. Go ahead and leave here. Oops. Launch. The skittering noise is actually nice. I assume it has something to do with our terror. I can vaguely recall there's some underwater denizen that attacks us during high terror. In any case, we're going to Rack and then the Salt Lions. I think in Rack we'll be able to pick up another one of those missions to send ships to, well, get wrecked, I guess. hope 7 fuel is enough to get back. We've already used 1 to go from here to here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, it'll be close if nothing else. We can turn our light off. It'll reduce the fuel burn a bit. We'll gain we'll make the terror go up though faster. All right, let's go into water to where Rack is. I don't think Salt Lion sells fuel. And I'm not sure. This place used to have fuel, but all the people left at one point. There was like some Burning Man statue in the island, and all the people were gone. So I don't know if they still. We'll get the poll report. I don't know if they still sell fuel or not. Okay, so what can we do here now that we've brought back the wrecker? I guess we go wrecking. So we have 1 relationship with the king now. Is that what happened? We can visit the royal hall. We can taste the tether. If we had frickin' prisoners' honey, and if we were hitting research, provide. Okay, we got rid of all our honey. Unfortunately, should have kept 1. Maybe next time. Let's go see the king here real fast. There was this mirror thing. We did this last time. Ah, here we go. Have any of the ships you sent come in? We did send a ship in. Let's see what he says. Yes, your ships came in. Promise them riches, promise them knowledge, promise them pretty toys, and it's all the same. They come and our store is replenished. The tether has new holes to grow on. Take this gift of scrap to the priestess. Look for me in the other times. You now have 1 wreck scrap. From the very ship you doomed, offer it in Rack and you may taste tether, taste love. Okay. We only gained 8 echoes, so we did gain some rack scrap. We can approach the mirror. Maybe we'll do this again if we don't have anything else to do with it or something away its quality. Let's go racking again. Now we gotta go to Khan's Heart. Okay. Isn't that the same place we just went to? Just make a note here. Khan's Heart. Khan's Heart. Let's see, I don't know. Send Captain. Captain. Why am I having a hard time wording Captain to Rack? A little jelly floor tells me there's a trespasser that speak to in Khan's Heart. Okay, it's the same place we did last time. I don't know if it's random or not, but we can taste the tether. I don't know if this option was here before. Let's see what happens. Then the resting enters a broken battleship. The wreckers keep the tether. I guess the tether is this thing that's holding all the ships together. I'm not exactly sure what the tether is. Oh, it's a weed. Yeah, it's a weed that holds the ships together. It's guarded by bulwarks and priests. Yeah, we did see this before. Okay, so we have been in here. Okay, so here's where you spend the rack. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, do I have anything in my notes of what this is? If not, I think we'll take notes this time so we can remember it next time. Taste the tether. Don the bone can give you fragments and maybe a romance. Lift the cup can do something of a friendship. Grasp the knife. What's in between romance, friendship, and partnership? There's a lot of things it sounds like. I guess we'll just go from the top and maybe try this painting of apples thing. Within the sanctum where no water drips are walls, doors, and a pedestal of trinkets. It is watched over by a stony matron. Make an offering of scrap and you may choose. I guess we could do something that our veteran captain might prefer, maybe the knife. Don the bone. It is a ring of donned bone. Lift the cup. Empty silver modern. Grasp the knife. Handle of horn. Polished blade. There's possibilities until by instrument. I guess we'll try this first since we're a war veteran. Is the balance ever so slightly off? It winks at you in the light. The matron tells you leads you to one of the many doors. You follow her into the darkness beyond. The matron lights a gas lamp. The room is modest, with a well-kept bed in the center. Rest. Allow your mind to wander. When you are ready, I will give you the tether. You look away, allowing your attention to settle on the smell of a lamp or an envelope. Looks like we've done both of these before. They both give you some fragments. The smell of the lamp or an envelope. I guess we'll just do the first one. Smoky and acrid. The tether melts in your mouth. You breathe in the stench, hold it in your lungs. There's nothing like the smell of British engineering, nor like the listening to the engine roar of your own vessel, bought and paid for. The impellers whir, the pistons race. She's eager for the wilderness. The sharp driver salutes as she enters. Cargo's loaded. What are you lugging this time? She adjusts her smoked goggles and fakes a barker's effusive tones. Murgatroyd's inestimable frontier supplies. Affordable, reliable, a taste of old London. You both pull faces. You have known love, it lingers. Tether tastings. A partnership will be founded. What will be, will be. Okay, well we don't have any more of the rack quality, so we can't do that again. I think we did this before. Didn't it like give us terror or something? Consider the state of the city? Not sure. We haven't done this eavesdrop thing. I mean, we'll just do it to see what happens. Learn where they are operating. Maybe you can warn the ports for the sake of goodness and profit. Do you really think she convinced the bastards to sail our way? Of course, they're fools up on Polythreme, and she's one of our best talkers. Cannot allow the rackers to claim innocent victims. So it sounds like this is like you could either do this track or maybe the other one. I don't know that doing both would make sense. Okay, so there was the something awaits thing. Let's go do that. Gonna approach the mirror at the rear of the chamber. We did this before. There's a reflection of a bespectacled gentleman. Last time we did which? I think we saw them ourselves last time. Do you have any notes about this? Moves in the Great Game or fragments? I think I would prefer a move in the Great Game at this point. But yeah, this thing we did last time. Yeah, we did this before. Yeah. Okay, so it's just a way to get moves in the Great Game, I suppose. Pretty sure that's more valuable than just getting some fragments. Although my notes are sometimes wrong, so that may or may not be the actual thing you get there. I thought I had in my notes that you could buy fuel here. Underneath, fuel 20, supplies 40. Oh, maybe it's this thing here. If you follow the deck, go through the holes. No, this is where you sell songs. Well, we need songs somewhere else. So even if we had them, we wouldn't sell them here. Maybe it's the considering the state of the city that lets you buy stuff in the shops. Don't know for sure, but in any case, I don't see anywhere to buy fuel. I probably would have bought one more. Oh, there's a monster here. Oh god, leave, leave, leave. Oh, what happened? Suffered 13 damage and 5 terror. Yeah, we, oh, the music has changed, presumably because of terror. Oh, and there's combat over there. We don't want to fight anything. I'll do full power to engines if I need to. I don't think he's seen us yet. More stuff over here as well. We'll just kind of hug the wall with our lights off here. We could probably kill that thing, but I don't want to risk anything at the moment. We would like to get this something awaits quality. Dock here and pick up some stones. Okay. Let's see. We'll get the port report. We'll pick up as much of the basalt as we can carry. How much hold space do we have? Plenty. We could hold 2 more. We can only afford 2 more of the 20 rubble. What did Visit the Unmakers do again? I think it was just give us like some fragments or something, right? Lions. -5 terror. Oh, actually, that's great. We need -5 terror. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something like +5 terror. Okay, yeah, that definitely needed the -5 terror. We were awkward noises and music were playing because of the terror rating. head straight back. I guess we'll hit Button Island. Although I'm a little worried about gaining terror there. Oh, more stuff we don't want to fight here. Let's stay away from him. Again, if it's just a little pirate pendants, maybe we could fight it, but I don't want to fight anything stronger than that. And again, I can't see his nameplate, so I don't even know what type of ship that is. Okay, well, it looks like we're gonna make it back to London. We have enough fuel. We're not gonna hit to like 100 terror or anything. Turn our light back on, but yeah, I don't think we're in any danger at this point. There shouldn't be any like large dangerous monsters right next to London. Even if we lost crew at this point, I think we could still limp our way back to port. A little worried about gaining terror here at Mutton Island, because like I said, all the people disappeared. Which is a little terrifying. Get the port report. Okay, we can entertain. We did this last time, I think. We entertained the crew's terrified speculations. Do I have notes about what any of this other stuff does? Let's see. Mutton. What's the other name for this place? Quaker's Haven. Quaker. Midnight ceremony, contest of riddles, explore the shore, investigate the hill. Let's go to the Cock and Magpie. It was the heart of the city once. Gained 1 terror. Most of the brass is still hanging. I think we did all these things. Yeah, we went to all the different places. It just gains terror. Entertain. We did do this last time. I'm not interested in raising terror, so I'm not going to do any more of these things. There's a crab up here. Maybe we can kill this thing. There's no way this thing's going to do 90 hull damage to us. Or megalops. I think I'll just dissect it for hunger. Or butcher it for supplies, rather, I mean. Well, we made it back alive. It was a little cut and dice, or a little dicey there, but wasn't too close. Like I said, the crew was probably, well, crew and terror were the two things we were. I mean, hulls. It looks like we're really low on hull, but our starting ship only had like, wasn't it like 100 hull? I have to look with the. Anyway, we still have a lot of hull compared to our starting ship, but we are low on hull for this ship. All right. Oh, I forgot to see if we had any contraband in our hold if we wanted to equip our concealed compartment, but I don't think we did. But okay, so we had the breath of relief. We'd had this before. It gave us a nightmare last time. Takes you back to 50 terror, or you may suffer nightmares later. Collect our messages. Okay, we are back. What should we do first here? What is this trinkets just trinkets thing? The man waiting is not a cultist. He is just another ordinary citizen wearing a silken blindfold. In a few years, perhaps everyone will be wearing them. Deliver the trinkets to the waiting man. Still a firmly sealed crate of what are absolutely not sorrow spider eggs. Well, that's a relief. Or maybe you just got lucky. Either way, they made it, and so did you. Someone else's problem now. What was the address on the crate? The Shuttered Palace? On second thought, it hardly matters. That may not be a good thing for London, but yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, okay, so this is one of the things we brought. We brought back the 7 Zoop. They sell it in Mount Palmerston. Yeah, we did this. It's a specialist taste, but where I'm going, there are specialist customers. There is one more thing. He's got a plan. So we've done 6 of his objectives. Or we've gained 2 up to 6. And we lost our Zoop for 1,000 echoes. That's nice to have. I mean, we were basically out of money, so that's good. Okay, so now he wants 7 bales of parabola linen or 7 outlandish artifacts. Can't you buy parabola linen in the shop here? For 120, but how much would he pay me if I bought it? 7 for 700. Okay, so we would lose money, but he says you can find it in Irem or Dreams. Actually, oh, it even says here, actually they sell it down at the docks, but where's the romance in that or the profit? We'll probably end up doing that. We have these allied artifacts can be passed on to our scions, so I don't necessarily want to get rid of those as quickly as I'd rather just go to Parabola Linen. In any case, we'll update our notes of what he wanted to be. How much? 7 Parabola Linen or 7 outlandish artifacts. Parabola Linen. Buy in Irem. We can buy them here at some point if we need to, but outlandish. We still haven't even been to Irem, so maybe we'll get a mission to go there and then we'll be able to buy the Parabola Linen for this guy. We can go to our Admiral here. So we're not going to turn our strategic intelligence. We just talked about this. We're going to try to save it to assemble a vital intelligence. But we can get the mission for the next one. Let's go to Frost Found to the north. Okay, there's definitely some areas we haven't explored. Frost Found to the north. So maybe we'll go north on our next voyage. Let's see, we'll turn in our regular reports. We're not going to turn in the underwater ones because we still need to use those for low Barnet up above. We'll turn in all of our. We turned in Mount Palmerston before. This is a new one, the Principles of Coral. I have no idea why anyone thought that settlement was a good idea. So we got a favor for exploring there the first time. Well, so the sisters have left Hunter's Keep, but in fact one of them died. We tried to save Phoebe, right? Oh yeah, but she died in the fire because we failed the skill check. That is ghastly news, the poor girls. We have warned them they weren't safe, but it has been so long, I thought, well, it's done, thank you. I'll have to look into the matter of a supply post. Okay. Shepherd Isles. We've heard some peculiar tables of that place. Well, let's see if we can... It was Vales, right? Yeah, Vales. Vales. Anybody want to improve our Vales? These both improve Vales. Well, he has 8 Vales though. Okay. I mean, we're still going to turn them in regardless of whether it fails or not. I'd probably just get more rewards, I guess. Failed. Okay, well. He doesn't believe you, I guess. Candidly, I'm not sure why you saw fit to trouble us with this nonsense. Okay. Okay, so Nuncio, we haven't been here yet. We haven't turned in this report before. Yes, the place that lures away postmen. One hears no end of complaints from the Postal Service. Gained a favor there. Khan's Heart. We've done this one already. So repeat. Uttershroom, this is new. You spent time in Miscellagia? Dear me, I am most terribly sorry. No text, but we got some favor. Mangrove College. Oh yes, the mighty philosophers do tell. More favor. Polythreme, the king with 100 hearts. We've been here before. This is not going to be a new one. Empire of Hands. This is new. Oh goodness, what are those accursed monkeys up to these days? You didn't bring any of them back with you, did you? Something new awaits in your lodgings. Such a ghastly place. A pause. You know, there was somebody here asking about it only recently. Delightful lady, as I recall. Most delightful. Yes, I shall take the liberty of forwarding her your address. Okay, so we have to go to our lodgings. Oh, we got 300 echo for that. That's pretty nice. Up to 1800. Acefall. I'd always wondered if it might be a myth. Apparently not, because we've been there. The Shellonate. Is it still as revolting as they say? What about the smell? Yeah, it was quite revolting from what I can remember. Khan's Shadow. Oh, these are always fun. Come on, let's hear it. Report submitted. Other officials gather around to hear tales of bloodshed and debauchery, and the jokes about the Khan that the Shadow produces so efficiently and so entertainingly. The one about the Khan and the donkey produces a roar of patriotic laughter and encourages the deputy recorder to unlock the departmental drink cabinet. Yeah, so the con and the London we've talked about this before are in some type of a conflict with each other, or at least they are wary of each other. Two spheres of influence, as it were. And then I guess the people in Con Shadow are outcasts from the Khanate, so they're kind of happy to hear about them. All right, just drinking some water. Wisdom. This is where we dropped off our shady cook. What did the oracle? Did the oracles look hungry? I suppose they did. Salt Line's been there many times. Quaker's Haven been there many times, although they were always a funny lot. Probably got their comeuppance. Like they weren't there anymore, so I don't know what happened to them yet. Okay, so these are the underwater ones. We're gonna hold these for now until we have advanced the story and lost Barnett or low Barnett up above. Could give him a move of the great game. I think I have notes about what this did, right? I didn't remember it being very exciting. 30 echoes on a favor point. Yeah, it's not particularly exciting. I mean, if we ever need a favor, we can do it. Please don't send me to Bloody Frostbound. Appeal to the Admiral's better nature. Remind you of your past services to his office. Frostbound is far away and freezing cold, and in all probability, no one there will cooperate. So I guess you didn't want this commission. We're fine. We're a stout and hardy veteran. We're not going to deliver these clay men because we need them to do the Tireless Mechanic mission. We'll deliver our Sphinx Stone. Nice. Got our money for that. Lost to Terror. We could check the Rose Market. The things we've been doing here, though, yeah, like, I don't want to trade these, even if they get a little bit more money for them. Like, we need these for story missions, so I'm not going to do these here. The Roser's Wharf has not been my favorite mission, I would say. Or, it's not really a mission, but it's just a place to sell stuff, I suppose. We'll go ahead and read the morning papers again. Okay, so somebody in our study, or this person, an invitation to Benthic College. Your travels have caught someone's attention. A delightful invitation. Benthic College is pleased to invite you to an exclusive and educational evening with Lady Agatha Treadgold, delightful adventuress and raconteuse of thrilling tall tales of feist and spunk. On the back is a scribbled note. Come speak to me afterwards, darling. Opportunity beckons. Okay, yeah, opportunities are always worth exploring at the least. A trip to Benthic. Benthic is the most open-minded of the London colleges. You find yourself waiting for the lecture in a queue of students, devils, and bohemians, observed with some scorn by passerby in Somerset colors. Delightful adventuress. Her feet have trodden lands most underneath have never even heard of. Her eyes have seen every opportunity for fame and glory while there. In an evening with her, whoever she is, she knows how to pack a hall. Not a seat is empty as she takes the stage. The fine cuisine of the Chelenate, the darling clay men, all but a prelude, my dears. Her stories tend towards the fanciful and conveniently unprovable, but the delightful adventuress has the credulous audience spellbound for hours. Many of her tales of monsters and lost cities have a common theme. She visited them ahead of a certain Lady Lenora Fortescue, the quite adorable, daring archaeologist with whom she sparked a bracing rivalry back at finishing school. The rest are tales, bitter as the sourest grapes, of being cheated of triumphs by the very same Fortescue, whose fanciful fictions are fit only for the penny dreadfuls. By the end, her stories are notably more bitter than boastful. She receives a standing ovation. A business proposition. The delightful adventurous masked clayman Barnabas escorts you to the principal of Benthic's study, where she sips brandy by the fire. She has a masked clayman named Barnabas, okay. Ah, my dear Capitano. Firelight glints in her eyes as she raises the glass. I hear you are recently returned for the empire of, monkeys? Hands. Yes, of course. It is a rare breed that can make such a voyage. Foolhardy, too, perhaps. She sips her brandy. I wish to charter you or your no doubt fine vessel to that primitive little island. There I shall find what I need to show up the infernal Lenora Fortescue once and for all, and you, delightful adventurous squint, sizing you up, sufficient compensation will not be a difficulty. A most mutually beneficial arrangement, you will agree. Sure. We are always up for mutually beneficial arrangements. It is a long voyage, but we know the way. Splendid. The delightful adventuress drains her glass dry, and then we shall see you upon the morrow for the voyage. Barnabas, pack my valise. Adventure awaits. We now have one delightful adventuress, the next great explorer, in her own mind at least. Take her and her bodyguard, guard to the Empire of Hands. Okay. So we need to go back to the Empire of Hands. Empire of Hands. This is take the delightful adventurous. Quite delightful, I would say. Alright, what else can we do in London? We don't want to do that, we just talked about that. We will carouse the dock, so we do need to lower our terror. We also need more recruits. We'll engage a sailor. Probably want to get up to 18 or 19. We want to be able to lose a few of them without being down to 14. I don't know if it rounds up or down. Go recruit a couple more. Put our better officers back in place. I don't think this one gives hearts anyway, but to 100% anyway, it doesn't really matter. All right, 3 crew, 19. That's we had 20 before, but we also had 30 totals. We'll keep 19 probably. That should be enough, I think. I'll do one more, I suppose. 21, just to be a little safer. If we're gonna go to the far reaches of the world, we might want to have some extra sailors for our next mission. Okay, we do also want to get repaired. Let's go do that. Do we want to exchange the Admiralty's favor? We haven't seen anything particularly useful with the Admiralty's favor. So it's basically you can either pay 100 to get repaired, or you can pay 25 plus 3 favors. 3 favors is essentially worth... So they're each worth 2 to 3 fuel. So let's say they're each worth 2.5. 2.5 fuel is 25 echoes. So 3 of those would be 75. So it's essentially 75. So it's the same price, basically. Yeah, it's essentially the same price. Because it's like 25 plus the 75 that the favors are essentially worth. Or just the 100 here. We are still saving up for a better ship though, so I suppose at this point in the game the echoes are more valuable in liquid form, as it were. So we'll go ahead and use some of the favors then for repairs, I suppose. And I haven't seen anything else you can do with favors other than get fuel, so I may as well just do it this one. It's the same, we just did the math, it's essentially the same math either way. Okay, so we repaired our skull, or we repaired our skull, our hull. Oh, there was this other option we could have done as well, but can't do it when you have a cat. So we're not able to do that. Let's take a quick look at our study. We do have a live specimen now and 7 secrets, so we actually could do this. We could create the Serene Aquarium. This is part of our ambition to write the Song of the Sea, so we may as well just do it. We can start converting. No, we don't have 10 of those. We don't have that. We don't have 7 strange catches. Oh, here's what I was thinking. 7 strange artifacts to make this object. Okay, well, we'll do this. Create a Serene Aquarium. You know the secrets of this particular specimen. Construct an environment that will display it to its best advantage. Mysterious motions. You've gained 7. Oh, it just straight up gained us 7 mirrors. Oh, wow. I don't remember that happening when we did the iron one, but okay. Oh, yes, it's the process of creating the aquarium will increase your mirrors by 7. And the aquarium is auxiliary. Okay, maybe they'll do that. Okay. Watch this Ixtid Enigma traverse the tank. Its motions are subtle and elegant. They introduce tranquility. Perhaps, too, they reveal divinatory truths. So now we have this object. So if we ever need to increase our mirrors for any reason, we can equip it in the auxiliary slot. We'll leave the Clayman in there for now, I suppose, because again, it has engine power and gives you some iron as well. We've got these wakeful idols, which we don't know exactly what they're for. Let's see, the Alarming Scholar. We could advance his story more. Oh, here we go. Here's what the wakeful idols are for. Well, there's one thing we can do with them at least. 100 echoes, 1 change point. Did I have a note of that in here? Let's see. Wakeful idol, 100 echoes. How much were the watchful idols? The watchful curios. I didn't write down. Presumably they are cheaper. Because we had to convert these watchful curios into wakeful idols, so presumably these are presumably less than a wakeful idol converted in, was it polythreme, I believe? Where the claymen converted the curios into idols. Definitely any of these in my notes I haven't written down. Let's see. Strange catch. I haven't given a strange catch to this guy before. Still need a strange catch for some people's mission. She also wanted a live specimen. Well, we just used it for our cabinet or whatever it was. Whatever it was. He wants to go to, yeah, he's the guy that wants to go to that other place. This guy we could do maybe. This guy wants a strange, oh, we need Muter Salt to speak to him. This is the guy we need to go to. We'll do that. We'll do that right away next time. Captain. We already did this before, right? Nothing happens, yeah. Oh, he has to go to the Chapel of Lights. Right. Any of our other officers need to be spoken to? I assume this guy hasn't changed. Playing with your ferret. Can't speak to that guy. Can't speak to the rat. Oh wow. So you can't dine with her unless you use your Searing Enigma. At last, Salt's song. Ask her. Yes. Okay, so she's somehow related to one of the gods, Salt, apparently. It would seem. We're not going to give her our first Searing Enigma, but maybe if we have a stockpile of them, we'll give one to her. This one we could do if we had a Shintalag. We did have Shintalag at one point, but not anymore. We were desperate for money before. This one's going to kill our ferret, apparently. I'd be fine to do this. We don't actually use this ferret. But we don't have the blue royal feather yet. We can ask her. We don't have Muter Salt. We really need some Muter Salt to talk to these officers about. Okay, we haven't talked to this guy yet. This doctor, he is soft-voiced, courteous, rarely makes eye contact, but often stares at other people's eyes from afar. We can chat about science, politics, or his medical career. Well, we're not particularly... I mean, we do have pretty high pages. We could be considered a scientist. Politics, we're not deceptive or perceptive. We're not going to talk about politics. Medical career, that's more of a hearts thing. So I think we'd be more likely to talk to him about science over a light dinner of Z-trout and bracket gruel. The nature of nature. Sunlight is, in certain senses, quite literally, law. Without sunlight, the Earth would spin off into space, and the absence of sunlight down here means the absence of a dozen laws. Death operates unreliably, though more reliably on the Z, as you know. Geography is uncertain and shifting. So they're explaining why the game randomizes the islands, I guess. And dreams. He had grown animated, now he seems distracted. He apologizes and composes himself. It was a particular interest of mine. Luminosity, the anatomy of the eye, the many elaborations of night. Excuse me, the gruel is a little too rich for my taste. We've dined with the haunting doctor and we have an inkling of what haunts him. We can keep talking to him. I guess we'll keep talking to him about science. It's the same dialogue option. Okay, so now he wants mushroom wine. We can buy that in London, I believe. Let's talk to him about mushroom wine. Invite him to drink with you. The haunted doctor has kept to himself since dinner. Perhaps some wine will help him open up. The art of poison. I let most of them slip away peacefully, a drop of laudanum still on their tongues. For that sop to my conscience I am most ashamed of all. The wine flows as the haunted doctor talks candidly of his past, of a status that allowed him to the bedsides of many of London's most infamous, and the black medicine bag that carried the tools of both his trades, doctor and anarchist poisoner. Oh, he's an anarchist. Maybe we can talk to him about anarchy stuff. I was a fool, he adds, a child, just a boy on a crusade, drinking in the rhetoric of the Calendar Council, thinking myself more than a mere poisoner. What I did, I do not regret. Would, though, that I had seen their true hearts before giving myself so freely to perdition. He raps his leather eye patch. The sound is hollow, sickly, It is a disappointment I well deserved. The lady taught me that much at least. No, another time perhaps. The hour goes late. I thank you for the company. He may have more to say after you visit a place that touches his old interests. The lady. Or was it talking about the lady? The calendar council. The lady taught me much at least. Don't know that we know who the lady is. Okay, we don't have any more dialogue options at the moment. Chief Engineer, 5 honey, another person who wants the live specimen to dispel the darkness. Okay, well we don't have, we have a lot, we need a lot of these live specimens. There's a romance option for him, but we have to have pages higher than iron, which is like the opposite of what our character is intending to do. We could talk to her with a strange catch. Invite her to dine with us. This is even less option. Oh, I guess there's, yeah, I mean, fails versus hearts. Okay, we'll talk to her. That's quite a lovely idea. How about a fish dinner? I do have particular tastes in fish. A knowing smile. I've heard about you. You like to invite your officers to dinner. Yeah, she knows me. Learn their secrets. Well, you don't need to dig far to find my secrets. I wanted to talk to you about it, actually. I've never met my mother. I know my father. I'm a countess on his side, actually. I'd like to find her. She's somewhere out at Z. If only... Really? You'd help me? That is too kind, if you insist. Here, it so happens that I made a list earlier tonight. Her mother will be found in one of these places. Holy moly. Oh, I see. These are just like maybe conditions. Are we gonna... I guess we can just write them down so we can start crossing them off. Gain a secret at least. Okay, so we're looking for her mother. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we're looking for her mother. This is the... Maybe's daughter. Find her mother somewhere. Hiram, Cons, Shadow, Naple. We haven't been anywhere called Naples yet. Port Carnelian. We'll cross these off as we find them, and I assume they won't, and they're not there. The Shellnet. Isle of Cats. Wither. Okay. I think that was our last officer, right? Nothing else to talk to her about. Oh, we can see... What exactly is the story with her mother? We've never met, so we were never close, but I'm not close to many people. Honestly, I think that's her fault. I think she sold something of what I was. She sighs. My family is very, very complicated. I don't like any of them, but I think I like her the least. Okay. That was all the officers we've talked to. I think we've done everything we needed to do here. Just do a quick look through. We're not retiring. We did all the things we could do in our study for now. We're not going to deliver the clay men yet. Oh, we haven't done this yet. We'll go carousing. We were unlucky, but we lost 3 terror for 10 echoes and gained... Oh, we already had recent news, but... We're done with getting crew. We're done with repairing. We got our new recruit. We are not interested in giving him any of these things, are we? I guess we can give him some memories of distant shores. Although we need like 77 memories of distant shores, I believe, to write the story of the Z. Yeah, so let's not just spend those willy-nilly. We're gonna need 77 of them. Could give him more wakeful idles. I think I searched my notes and I didn't see any reason to have wakeful. We'll keep one of my inventory just in case there's something I didn't note of, but we'll get rid of the rest of them, I suppose. Okay, we'll get rid of, well, we'll get rid of one more, I suppose. We need 3 more points to reach level 5 with him. I mean, I could give him 3 of these, but like I said, we actually need 77 of those, so... We do have a lot of these intriguing snippets. Is there any mission we've taken note of that needs snippets? We can give him some of those. Some places that gain snippets. Some minor uses for snippets. Yeah, I don't see anything particularly useful for these snippets, I guess. It's not one of the Song of the Sea options, right? We don't need snippets for that. I don't think that it was. No, Z Stories, Memory of Distant Shores, Tales of Terror, Port Reports, and 40 Secrets, but not snippets. And a Dread Surmise. And all the cabinets. Okay, so yeah, let's give him some snippets. See if we can advance his favor 2 more points to reach. 50 echoes too, that's actually not bad. 1 more. See what level 5 is here. Oh ho, zesty. Okay, anything different at level 5? Does not appear to be. Okay, well, we keep advancing his levels, but like every time we advance them, nothing very exciting happens. That I can tell at least. Where's his tracker in here? Let's see. Where objective? Oh, she wanted like a crate of souls. Could buy one of those for her. We are going north. That's where Mount Palmerston is. Acolyte's favor. One of these must be tracking that fellow. Is there a section for London? No. Learning about? Well, these are all our officers. I'm sure I just looked past it here. So one of these favors? Antiquarian, here it is. Just says 5. You have combed the Z for stories and other treasures. Okay, well. Don't know exactly when anything interesting will happen with him, but we're not. It doesn't seem like we're on the precipice of doing anything interesting. Okay, so we do want some foxfire candles. We do need the crate of human soul. Oh, we already have a crate of human souls. Oh, we did have contraband in our. Oops. I was just saying, like, I wonder if we should have equipped our concealed compartment. We did have contraband. The crate of human souls is contraband. So we should have had our concealed compartment equipped. But we didn't get accosted by the customs officers, so... Okay, what do we want to stock up on? So we're going to be going north. Oops. So we're going to go into Venderbite. Is there anything that Venderbite wants from us? We're going to drop all those. We're going to drop off our tour of tomb colonists. Venderbite. Don't have any notes of anything in particular they need. Wither and Codex. I haven't written down that we needed anything in my current notes. Let's take a look at my past notes to see if there was anything. Wither. Gain attention. We kind of have everyone's attention. We can trade Z stories, but we need 77 Z. Even though we also need muter salt, we need 77 Z stories to do our ambition. What about Codex? Anything in Codex that we should bring goods for? I don't have anything written down. I don't have a single note for Codex. Oh, here it is. Isle of Codex. Seer Enigma. Lamentable Relics. Can't buy those, I don't think. Oh, 3 unread logs. I've been looking for a way to get 3 unread logs. I mean, to get any unread log, because we've come across a few options. Okay, so we have the thing we need for Mount Palmerston. We have the Crate of Souls. That's the only thing we have written down as far as that goes. Let's see, Palmerston. Anything in my past notes about things that are useful to bring to Palmerston? No, not really. Okay. Anth. We can head up to Anth. We were just there recently. Gather the port report from Khan's Glory. Oops. Oh, so they want us to bring the port report. I don't think we've ever even gotten the port report for Khan's Glory, because it's like... Yeah, we've never even gotten the port report for Khan's Glory. Okay, so we can't do that. Anything else item related that we should bring to Anth? Romantic literature. We don't have any romantic literature. Recent news. We can bring some mushroom wine. Snippets. We just oh, it's only -3 terror. I'm not sure exactly what all these options are, but I'm just looking through briefly through the notes. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go to Mount Palmerston. We're gonna go Venderbite is for sure. I don't know if we need to go to Wither or Codex. I didn't see anything interesting there. We're gonna go Mount Palmerston. We're gonna go to Anth. Demo Island. Any reason to make another stop at Demo Island? If we had 2 strange catches, we get a super long box. We haven't had the option to do that yet. And then we have to go to the north to find the new strategic information quest, which was Frost Found, I believe. Yeah, Frost Found to the north. So we'll go up here, I guess, and we'll explore this chunk until we find, at least until we find Frost Found, and depending on what our terror and other stuff is, maybe we can get all the north explored on this voyage. We'll see. I do still want to go to Gator's Morn to talk to about the pirate poet that we ransomed. Maybe we could even go. We need to go here. We need to go these 2 first. Low Barnet and Punter's Keep. We got to turn in our port reports, underwater port reports here. Like I said, I haven't been able to go. I haven't had like a reason to go this direction to Gator's Morn recently, but I do want to go back there at some point. Khan's Glory, Khan's Heart. Do we still need more like pearls or whatever it was we needed? It was like these are coffee or pearls. I forget which one we turned in for favor there. Khan's Glory was coffee beans times 5. Oh, and war pearls. So we'll bring. We said we needed to do this. We have 1. I think we needed to get up to 5, so we need to do this 4 more times. So we need 20 drowning pearl, or sorry, 20 sacks of coffee beans. Not 20, sorry. Yeah, 20, because yeah, we would need 20 sacks of coffee beans. How much would that even cost? Let's see, coffee beans. It's pretty expensive. Pretty expensive, it's like 1,000. Let's not do that right away. That's a bit expensive for without having a really good reason to do it. Let's buy at least 1 of each. Some candles. We definitely want at least 5 candles. There's a bunch of things we've been wanting to, or that we found things where we wanted at least 5 candles. Although it said maybe more would be better. Maybe we'll just have 10 candles in our hold. Like we've seen things where candles would be useful. I would rather do it while we have this ship, which has a big hold, than when we get, because when we get the next ship that I plan on buying, it has a large hold, but it's not as large as this one. This one's got a 120 hold. This one's only going to be 70, so I'd rather do random candle hauling missions now, because if we only had 70 hold, we'd be almost full right now. We haven't even bought our supplies yet for the mission. Okay, so anything else we want to buy? We want to buy supplies. We need at least 10 for sure. Probably need like at least. We can buy them in Mount Palmerston. We don't need more than that. In fact, I think they're cheaper in Mount Palmerston. Do we want 5 wine? There was something that wanted 5 wine, right? Want to carry 5 wine with us? Wine. I thought something involved. Maybe I get the coffee mixed up. Oh, Godfall. 5 wine for 150 echoes. I mean, that is a profit. It's actually a decent profit. Yeah, that would be a decent way to make money. Just deliver a bunch of wine. I guess it's 50 echoes per. We'll get at least 5. Honey. Any reason to have more than 1 honey in our hold that we're aware of? Oh, the magician wants 5 honey. But he also wants 2 live specimens. What does my note say that does? 10 terror, minus terror, 1 prevalent, minus hunger, and 20 fragments. That doesn't seem... Just the numbers don't look very interesting, but maybe more happens than what I wrote down. What is this, firkin? Let's search for firkin, and there's other things that have the word honey in them. Okay, yeah, so this thing took 5 in Anth. Okay, we can Can buy 5. Coffee beans we just saw. We could have at least 5. We can buy at least 5, I suppose. And we're using all our money. I mean, we'll do stuff with this stuff eventually, so it's not like we're losing money, but we're also spending it somewhat liberally. Not gonna buy any parabola linen. Haven't seen any more need for torpedo components. I'm not even sure what a torpedo salvo is. There's like a gun that fires torpedoes. There's torpedo nets. Oh, maybe... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what these torpedo components are for exactly. Deploy these in combat for unparalleled protection against torpedoes. Honestly, don't exactly know what that is. We could sell our We Are Clay here. We have one Radis Faber assistant who is the niece of the postal officer. At some point I would like to get a better engine, but can't really afford a better one. We could buy a better lamp. Lamps just give you mirrors. Doesn't it say like they're all the same? Somewhere it said like they're all the same amount of light. An effective device for seeking enemies. The consonator does not limit your ability to hide. Oh, so you can keep your light on without attracting the judgment resonator. There's definitely some better lamps, but I can't tell if they're worth the money. I mean, there's a decent chunk of money for an unclear benefit. Okay, I mean, I think we've done everything we need to do here. Let's go ahead and set off. We don't need to stock up on too much fuel and supplies because we can buy it in Mount Palmerston for a pretty good price. We'll play for a little longer on this play session. Probably not going to play too much longer, but the haunted doctor shrinks from a sorrow spider. How did that horrible creature get aboard? Smash it with a flung boot or call a sailor to take care of it. Guess we can fling a boot at it. I mean, we are a veteran of a war. I feel like we could smash it ourselves. A relief. The haunted doctor breathes easier. He rummages for a hidden bottle, drinks deep. I apologize, citizen. It is not that I'm a cowardly man, merely. He sighs. I was not neath born. When I ventured here, I knew nothing of clay men. I had hardly imagined I might one day share a handsome cow with a charismatic devil. I had never even heard tell of the sorrow spiders, whose webs catch men's minds as easily as their bodies. Have you visited the observatory where they nest? I suspect not. His hand trembles. It was a full year I found myself there with a lady. She wrapped me in silk and kept her children kept me warm. She gave me her sight, and all she asked in return was my eye. It was a dream. Yeah, he lost his eye, I guess. It was a dream I cannot call a nightmare, yet one I woke from with shivers and a revelation. If it is in light that such sorrow breeds, only in darkness could there be hope, in the liberation of night. I believed I saw hope for us all. I was misguided, but that story you know. Please, I will return to my duties. He has unburdened himself. So he came from where the nativity, where the spiders were, I guess. A request from the haunted doctor. He asks it quietly, almost with embarrassment, as he sutures a crewman's wound. He visits a Khan's shadow. Recent conversation has me left nostalgic, the haunted doctor admits. His voice shakes slightly, though his fingers do not. Should a suitable opportunity arise, I would remind myself that there are still those who dare to dream of a better world. It has been too long since I warmed my hands on such passion. He snips the thread. His work, as ever, is immaculate. Okay, so he wants to go to Khan's shadow. The haunted doctor. I guess I should like put all these in one section so it's easier to find them when I'm looking for. Tomb tour. We're about to do this. Campaigner. We'll move the notes about towns down to here. Move this note down to there. We'll add a note for the haunted doctor. Go to go to Khan's Shadow? Is it Khan's Shadow or Khan's Heart? I can't remember. Well, it was one of the Khans. I think it was Khan's Shadow. Could be wrong. Or Heart? Question mark? Okay, we're going to Low Barnet and then Hunter's Keep to do the mission for the Tireless Mechanic. Restless Nights. If you ignore them, it lowers terror. The other one wasn't very exciting, so I'll just keep doing that. Okay. We should at least get this something always quality before we dock here. So we will slow down here and wait a moment. Okay, get the port report. We will go to the story festival thing. We will speak of Anth. I think we did this before. You talk of the glooming desire, the consuming desire in mornings where every moment gleams with promise. You talk about broken vows, a love shattered, about a heart growing sharp as a barber's razor. You talk about how clearly we see the passions of others while obscuring our own motives. The listening Zailers cast their eyes down, looking into the past. We have 3. How much are we trying to get? We're trying to get at least 4 to do this. We want 7 maybe to do this. Okay, let's get at least 4 and then see what the next thing is. Okay, we have... Let's do the ones we're going to go to right away. We're going to go to... Scrimshander, that's to the north. No, that's to the south. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just turning all of them. We definitely have done this one before. We've been to Rosegate multiple times about the cigar. Okay, so we have 4 turned in now, so that unlocks this option. Participate in another contest of stories. At the altar, they are recruiting storytellers. And your life is fascinating. Another contest of stories. The pews are full, but there's room for another contestant. Could you win the audience with tales of your adventures? Increase your storytelling quality to improve the chances of victory. Take advice. These are at 40% right now. Let's take advice first. He's from the parson. He's been mingling with the congregation. Parson takes you aside. Every day these people hear fables and fabrications. Give them something true. And if you win, you know, it's towards the bell tower, I would be very interested in seeing what goes on in there. Okay, so we can raise this a little bit by turning in a few more of our poor reports here. Talk of Scrimshander. Ivory and ink. Your story is a bold one, that every mark ever made on the Zeafaring skin appears unexplained on the walls of the Ivory City. You move among the listeners, gesturing to their tattoos. The Wheel of Mists, they'd find that etched above an aquifer. The Gambit, scratched into a nameless catacomb. And the Unflinching Eye, well, that is only found at the city's heart, but your listeners will have to visit it and see it for themselves. And of Rack. We've done this one before, the city of shipwrecks. Not going to read that again. Okay, so we've rated it a bunch. Let's see, is it enough to do these 60%? I mean, we can try at least. Oh wait, no, we can't try. To unlock this option, explore festivals in Dahoot. To unlock this option, win the favor of old Zailers at the Gant Pole. We were at the Gant Pole. Guess we didn't learn any of their favors, and we haven't been to Igel yet. Okay, we're not ready yet to take the stage, I guess. Okay, well, I guess there isn't anything. If we had 7, we could do this, but we ran out of pull reports and we don't have 7 yet. Okay, well, we'll keep advancing that as time goes on. We're gonna go to Hunter's Keep next, and then Vendor Bite to get rid of our Tomb Colony tour. Tomb Colonist tour, I should say. Still have our we didn't get to use our something await, so we don't need to wait here for this. Okay, excavate the cellar. Right, the mechanic says. There's a problem. The pool we need is down there. He points down to the ruins. I'm afraid we have to do some digging. Oh, because the place fell apart? Beneath Hunter's Keep, it takes a full day to clear away the sufficient ruins to reach the cellars. In the deepest subcellar, your candles illuminate the litter of tumbled stones, the remnants of a temple. The signs on the stones have a Cognanian look. A pool at the cellar center is almost dry. The remaining water there seethes oddly in the candlelight, as if it were near boiling, but it's quite cool to the touch. The writhing river flows near here, the mechanic remarks. One of the tributaries of Dream. My enemies find me when I sleep, but this water will attract my enemies to this poor fellow, the clay man, I suppose. He bends to dip his hand in the water and sketches a sign on the clay man's forehead. The man watches him stolidly. The mechanic hands him the mirror catch box. Hold this, he says. Keep it open. Don't let go no matter what happens. The clay man's huge hands unfold the box. There, the mechanic says, turning to you. A serpent trap. Now I can sleep. I can finally sleep. He smiles. And then I think I may be able to offer you something rather interesting. We've lost 5 supplies. Oof. Well, we're gonna get more in Mount Palmerston. That's okay, I suppose. We now have a serpent trap. The clay man looks confused as it grasps the mirror catch box in its great gray hands. It would look a lot more confused if it knew what to expect. This will allow the tireless mechanic to get a night's sleep. However, we've lost one of our clay men and one of our candles. Okay, well, good thing we bought some extra candles. Let's see what he has to say now. The tireless engineer. We can now allow the mechanic to sleep. It might be messy, he warns you. Could you have a couple of strong sailors standing by? Tell them to snap the box shut when the trouble begins. He holds up a box of laudanum. I will be sleeping deeply. Okay, well, hopefully we won't lose too many crew. A certain amount of excitement. When nothing seems to be happening, you take to your own bunk, but a roar from the clay man brings you sprinting back to the mechanic's cabin. You fling open the door. The man's eyes seethe with Viric flame. It is struggling against the efforts of the sailors to restrain it. As you rush to assist it, it flings one sailor off, but the other manages to snap the box closed. Instantly, the man goes stiff, a lifeless clay statue. The Viric glow now pulsates from the box. In the bunk, the mechanic sleeps on, his face wreathed in dreamy smiles. He will sleep so until morning. You've learnt that the mechanic stole a secret from the dreams of the stone pigs. We now have a mirror catch box full of very angry dream snakes. A sudden Viric glow leaks from within. Sometimes it rattles. Best not to open it. We've lost the serpent trap. He stole a secret from the dreams of the stone pigs. I don't know if we've met anyone called the stone pigs yet. Okay, well. Oh, now we can ask him to explain what the hell is going on. Okay. Well, it's like this. I stole a secret from the Echo Bazaar with the help of the Finger Kings. You know, the serpents who ruled Dream. Then I reneged on the Finger Kings. Don't look at me like that. Would you rather I'd given them the secret? I don't know. I don't know if I would have not. Pigs of stone. I talk about engines all the time. I'm sure you've noticed. And I dream about them. I found myself dreaming of the stone pigs. Oh, I don't entirely understand still. But they're how the bazaar travels between stars. Did you know they did that? I did not. And they sleep, so the Finger Kings can crack their dreams open. So the Finger Kings recruited me. I found a secret in those dreams, an engine like the Z's never seen. Oh, Captain, Captain, let me build it for you. You won't be sorry. But there are some things I need. I know. Isn't that always the way? So I'll need help to build the engine. It needs to be alive like the pigs, and better at metal. Ransom or rescue him from wisdom. Oh, that's the prison There were a bunch of things you could do there, but they all said, like, don't do this unless you have a reason to. I guess now we have a reason to. Okay, so let's keep note of this. So this is the mechanic. Now we need to rescue Sage from Wisdom. I think I have some notes on what those might be. I mean, what we can do there. Frostbound. Find Frostfind to the north. Retrieve the mechanic's secret from the penultimate chamber. Retrieve secret from penultimate chamber of Frostbound. Well, that just so happens that we're going to Frostbound. That's rather fortuitous. And we want to take 1 element of Dawn, 1 casket of Sapphires, and 40 units of Stygian Ivory, along with the Mechanic's Secret and the Unsettling Sage to King Eater's Castle. Is that the stuff we've been delivering to London for money? I hope there's still 40 left. I think at some point it runs out, but deliver 40x Stygian... Oh no, Stygian Ivory is that thing you can buy. We have actually one. We have one in our inventory. 1x element of Dawn. 1x casket of sapphires. And the sage. And the sage. To King Eater's Castle. We haven't found that yet. We have to rescue the sage first. Don't know if we have to do this before this or not. We have to do the sage before we can do this one. Well, that's quite an elaborate mission that he entails. Okay, well. Oh wait, we haven't looked at the ruins yet. Has anything changed? Wind, weeds, and water. Tumbled stones. The garden unwindingly, gently into disorder, week upon week. Nothing more. Okay. Okay. Can't even do it. You can't do anything here anymore, apparently. Okay, so we're going to Vanderbite. We could go underwater if we want to try to do some hunting, I suppose. I'm just gonna go straight there. Our terror is kind of high, though. Maybe I'll keep my lights on, I suppose. I want to click this just to see what happens. Oh, it costs supplies. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that before. I don't think I've ever seen that UI. I've played like 100 hours of this game before. I mean, again, it was 10 years ago, but I don't think I ever clicked on that button. The crawling stars. The lookout shouts. Far above, the false stars on the cavern roof are shifting. A rare and ominous event. What now? Chord the change and assign a name. If the new shape seems well omened, your crew may be cheered. Who knows? Eyes on the deck. Forbid them to look. You can't really stop them, but you can at least discourage discussion. They won't like it, but it's safer. Huh? Darkness. You were unlucky. 2 terror. 3 of the false stars wink out altogether as suddenly as closed eyes. The pattern that remains is as hopeless and meaningless as cast dice. Somewhere a sailor begins to sob. Sad. I'll be happy to get rid of these tomb colonists at least. They keep causing mischief, and the sailors don't appear to like them. Alright, let's deliver our... Unfortunately, we lost 1, but what are you going to do? Unlocked with 2 and no more than 11. You have 11. What remains? Is this all? What happened to the rest of them? Well, I mean, it is what it is. The operator ticks the remaining colonists off on her list. Well, close enough, I suppose. Here's your fee. And they seem cheerful enough. Perhaps we won't lose all of them to the moss or the sanatoria. She leans in. Her breath is scented with mushroom wine. Venderbight is worse than you know, and now you know it. The tour is complete. 100 echoes, that's nice to have. And we've got rid of those stupid colonists. Okay, there's the port report. We can inspire Wanderlust now. Oh, a last tour storyline. Oh my lord. Did you find the last tour lucrative, or do you have another use for tomb colonists? Share tales of wonders you've seen across the sea, and perhaps they'll rouse themselves for another go. Oh my lord. I mean... do I want to do it again for 1,000 money? I don't know. Let's ignore that for the moment. We didn't get any of these. Oh, we got the... oh, he wants the colors of the dream catch box. Oh, that's one of the, it's one of the colors here. Is there any other use for a dream catch box of snakes? What is this option? Oh yeah, that's where we're at, Venderbite. You can sell it for 500 in the Khan's Shadow. That's the only other note I have for it. I mean, this is definitely a big mission, so yeah, I may as well do this. Give it your mirror catch box full of angry dream snakes. Oh my, they are well, actually, before we do that, let's just look at it in our hold here. Sell on very clear, best not to open it. I don't think the mechanic needed it, right? It wasn't part of his quest. Rescue the sage, retrieve the penultimate secret from penultimate chamber, ivory dawn, cascade of sapphires. Thanks. Yeah, he doesn't need it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is a Viric glow, and Viric is one of the colors we need. I had totally forgotten about that. But I'm glad I checked. Oh my, they are cross. A tomb dry chuckle. They won't stay imprisoned long, but longer than I will. It becomes motionless for so long that you wonder if it's finally truly dead. At last it expels a rattling breath and points wordlessly at a closoing mask on a trophy stand, half visible in the gloom. Elder continent, it wheezes, made within sight of the mountain. Wear it and think of me. Okay. Oh, we get a captivating treasure. Nice. Those are valuable. Okay, well, we found one of the colors. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go. Have we found anything that we think might be some of these? A Pocean? The memory of coral. That's probably Port Cecil. That's where all the coral was. That's where the chess match stuff was happening. Cosmogon, the color of remembered suns. The fecunded, the fungal, the photed. We've encountered a number of fungal places. Could be the udder shroom, that big mushroom. Gant. Well, we went to the Gant pole. That's where all the colors are eaten. That involved, there was like a Cirrus who we needed to bring we need to do some monster hunting and bring in their bodies for her to dissect. Irigo, the colors, the forgotten corners of home. Maybe we go to the corners of the map, I don't know. Pelican, the color of the deepest Z. Beyond the gate, there is a sea more sunless. Beyond the gate. Not sure what that implies. Violent, blood, is shed in a spired place. Have we found anywhere that had spires? We might have. There were some spires in Port Cecil, but I think that might have been the other color we talked about. I don't remember any other places being described as having spires. Couldn't get into Apis Meat. Yeah, I don't know. There's still places we haven't explored yet, so it could be one of the other places we haven't been yet. Okay, what can we do with our something aways? We can explore Venderbite. We can sample this. We failed this last time. It reduced some terror. I would like to see what happens if you succeed. Let's try it once more to see if it succeeds. Okay. It succeeded, but it only lost 5 terror. For 60 echo. That does not seem like a good price. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be doing that much anymore. Definitely not going to do this one, which it says it's better than this one. Okay, we'll just explore Vanderbite, I suppose. The Carmine Chapel. A little chapel stands alone. You poke your head through the door. The walls are a deep red, just this side of scarlet. A ruby-tinted window at the back glows with steady light. An electric lamp behind the glass. Rare and expensive, but this is no gaslight. No one is here, and yet you have the sensation that only a moment ago someone must have been. Probably coin the empty offering box and pray to the power of this place. Search the place. Leave. Or if you are familiar with the rites, you can make an offering. So I do remember this is like when you engage in cannibalism, you gain this menace. So menaces are bad in general. Well, at least they're bad in the story sense of they are unfortunate, but we're not acquainted with cannibalism yet, which is what this implies. We'll just search the place, see what happens. An hungered. Okay. There is an altar, a block of basalt. There are pews, a pulpit. No Bibles, no hymn books. The stained glass window is the red of cochineal. An inscription on the lintel of the door reads, "For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat." That is all. Your crew is eager to leave. No one looks back. We've gained a terror. Okay, something to do with cannibalism. There's like an altar for cannibals of some sort. That wasn't the color. There was a red color. Viridian, or yeah, this one violent, but apparently it doesn't have anything to do with that. Maybe if we were unaccountably peckish, we could have done that. Okay, let's hit this. I suppose we can get the codex and weather report reports. If we're gonna go up here anyway to defog these things, or we could just go straight over to Anth and Mount Bomberson. I don't have anything in my notes that we wanted to do in Wither or Codex, but you never know, there might be something interesting up there. We have a lot more items in our hold than we did the first time. Oh, here's some bats. Where are these bats? There they are. Kill them in one hit. Looks like we did. Cant's Abyss. Oh, it's another one of the abysses. We should go underwater for that. Let's see. Reducing terror sounds good. We're trying to shed our terror a bit. Oh, one terror. Okay, well. Their eyes are still fierce in death. The sailors sweep them overboard. They're careful not to touch them. Let's check out Camps of this. Let's see. If we swim over here, we should get the option to investigate the abyss if it's like the other ones. Yep. Okay, we'll dive in. We still have the Rite of Solace. We want to... Oh, we should have improved our heart's quality. Oh, too late now, I guess. Is it too late now? I guess we can just depart. I guess it wasn't too late now. Okay, hearts. Hearts. This is the first officer. 1 hearts. 6 surgeons. She already has 6. -1 heart, so I don't want her or him. And then we have these new options in our hold. This one's mirrors. This one's iron. This one's iron. Okay, I think this is the most hearts we can get. We can actually improve our hearts by talking to whichever officer has the hearts challenge. I don't remember which one it was. Not this guy. He's fails. This guy can raise our hearts up a bit. Culinary philosophy is to be edible, is to be possible to be consumed, and to be living is to consume. Thus we find that the nature of the unliving is to be consumed. In fact, therefore, anything that is not living may be consumed. Okay. I do want to keep enough secrets to convert all of and to get all these, and there's 7 each, so I'm not going to spend more than that. I'll just try this one. Get us to a nice around 60 for now, and then maybe if we have a bunch of secrets later on, we can keep raising them a little higher. 51%. I mean, it was like 49 before, so. Oh, so you'll... Okay, so it's just going to take some damage if you fail. Okay, we made it in. Let's see, we are doing the ritual of feasting when you have no more than 2. So where's our tracker for this? Acquire 2. And where's the place we're at? This is the... Look at the name we get out of it, I guess. I forget what the name of it was. Okay, so let's perform the ritual of feasting. This is a rippling walls of chasm are abundant as a garden. The abyss of pomegranates. Rippling lawns of Posidonia. Copses of shadowed kelp. Garlands of coral pulsating with tubular sponges. And here, a vine bearing melon-sized nodules, the color and shape of pomegranates. We'll perform the ritual of feasting. Excuse me. Okay, a fresco adorns the church's frontage. Burned pilgrims supplicate themselves before a woman's upturned hands. Oysters grow in her palms. Will you enter the church in search of communion? I suppose it will. You don your diving gear. At the end of the upturned nave, gigantic stone feet are firmly planted on the floor above you. You swim down towards the ceiling, following the legs until you come to a pair of cupped hands. Growing out of the feminine palms is an oyster of preposterous enormity. It opens at your approach. You enter. It closes around you and drains of water, allowing you to remove your diving helmet. Not that there's a reason to continue wearing it. Your air hose is severed. The oyster is heavy with gray, slimy meat. Its flesh is succulent. Juice sprays with each bite. When you finish, you tie off your air hose and don your helmet. You take a deep breath and swim back to your submarine. Okay, so we did the Rec 2 one, so now we can do this one. Now we need to go back to Bad Stevener's Abyss. I'll just bold that so I can... Hopefully I'll see that. I'll make go here now. Okay, we'll have to make a note of that. We already have a right. I don't know if we need to forsake the one we have. If there was a reason to, I certainly would, but I just don't... Not aware. Alright, we'll put our primary officers back in, which is this fellow, and I think I had this guy in. And we will continue on our way here. Making some good progress on that mission, for what it's worth. Explore these 2 sections here. Some more bats over there. Not that they did a whole lot last time, but they also weren't very hard to kill, so... Maybe I'll eat them this time, or whatever the other option was, just to see what the difference is. Gather the corpses. Oh, supplies. And you gained terror. Okay, well, 1 reduced terror, 1 gained terror, but... Either way, they're relatively weak monsters, so the outcome's not very exciting either way. Boreal Reach. Is that snow? Touch it, it puffs... Oh, there's one of these guys. This guy is pretty hard from what I remember. These icebergs. Maybe I can see its health bar when I get closer to it. I'm not going to have my light on though, because I don't actually want to engage it. From what I recall, these bigger guys are kind of hard. Burning blue. A hiss of horror from the lookout. The glint lamp at the front of the ship is sputtering and arcing, fizzing with blue light. Even as you watch, the blue fades, but it's not a good omen. Okay, we can attempt to calm them. We got a 100% success quality. Light meets dark. The darkness underneath is more than the absence of light. It's a physical presence which distorts the shape of the world. Your light melts the darkness, restores sanity to the world. You explain something of this to your sailors. It's not the first time they've heard it, but they seem slightly less nervous. Okay. Yeah, where's this guy's health bar, man? I really wish this bug wasn't so annoying. Yeah, I don't know. He could be something that has some really good loot. I just don't know how strong he is. Again, there's other ships that have like 2 guns. Like you get a forward gun and a deck gun. I feel like I should have at least 2 guns before I take on like the really hard monsters, but also there was those light upgrades which said that like they advanced your targeting solution or something, so that maybe you target faster when you have the better lights. There's a lot of upgrades we can do before I think we take on like the really hard. Oh wow, that defogging that section defogged like this whole coastline. Okay, well I mean I'll take it. Again, I don't think there's anything in Wither for us to do, since we're here, we may as well just take a quick peek inside. Probably just get to Mount Palmerston and then call that for the end of the session. Unless something in Wither takes up a lot of our time, we'll see. Okay, last time I asked about the drowned man. We didn't do this last time because we didn't have any money. Gain the attention of the gods. I guess we'll do this now. Do I have anything in my notes what this does? Let's see. Wither. Ask about the drowned man, question mark, question mark. Alright, let's do it once here. The initiates of the house are reluctant to speak of him, but you may be able to bribe them enough to gain a few tenuous snippets. The law and the loss. The drowned man's brothers, I and sisters, gave him to the knives and the lacre. Here we have no lacre, only snow. Snow comes from the north, lacre comes from pain. We have it a little easier. Okay, well, it certainly was not worth it. We gained 6 fragments. But at least we learned some knowledge, I suppose. And now we will never have to do it again because we've written it down. The law and the loss. Yeah, there's something about the gods. I don't know. Okay, I'll get the port report. At least we can get that for coming here. Shore leave, a straightforward challenge, 50 echoes. How much shore leave did I write down? -5 if you succeed. What did we pay in Fender Bites? We paid 50 for like -6 or something. I don't know. I mean, I would like to reduce our terror. Oh, here's the thing about maybe's quality. We're searching for her mother. Oh, I'm glad we came here, actually. We can cross it off the list. I don't know why anyone would come here, but she does. Something about questions. The daughter shivers. You know, she asks people about love all the time and writes down the answers in her nasty little book, Love. The daughter's mouth twists. Nothing. I've been asking questions for 3 hours, and every time I ask a question, they reply with a question. I think I might... Oh yeah, this place where they ask questions. Well, I might, but I didn't. I just picked their pockets. I think that's entirely reasonable under the circumstances. I actually picked their... Oh, I got a meter salt. Nice. We need that for a number of the officer discussions. Okay, so we've crossed off Wither from her list of potential places. Wasn't there. Here's your share. Let's go look somewhere else. I guess we could look to see who wanted the meter salt. Wasn't him, I know that. This guy, we don't have a strange catch anymore. I think at least one other officer wanted to talk with meter salt. Not her. Not her. This one, maybe? Yeah, she wants it. I only have 3 supplies, though. Maybe I'll do that when we're in a town where we can buy supplies. Yeah, not here. Could sell our anatomical cabinet that we built. Honestly, we don't really need it. Like, the thing we have equipped right now gives us 5 iron. It does take up 1 hold space. Oh no, we needed to craft the Song of the Sea. What am I saying? Yeah. Can buy another meter salt. We are gonna need another one, so I don't necessarily want to trade in. Like Z stores, I don't have a lot. I only have 8 of them, and I need 77 to write the Song of the Sea. Okay, we already did that. Okay, we'll explore the town. An intriguing smell. Who'll try? Who'll buy? A street vendor turns skewers on a grill. The mixed scents are nothing like anything sold in London. Try the grilled troglodyte prawns, huge and pale. Their eyes are stare bleak into yours. Excuse me. Try the shredded jellyfish. Oh, here's the peckish thing again. I guess I'll just try. We'll do this one. Try the shredded jellyfish. You succeeded. Lost your terror. Nice. Because I've been trying to shed some terror before we head farther away from London. I want to have a nice chunk that we can, because we're going to gain terror for sure as we go farther and farther away, but trying to shed some while we can. The food of queens. Traces of venom still remain, just enough to make your tongue tingle and alter your consciousness a touch. Your pulse accelerates and odd thoughts sparkle to the forefront of your mind. That's all for now. Okay. And maybe we'll just go to the Isle of Codex, maybe actually, and stop it for there, because we've been doing this session for a while, so. There's another one of those iceberg guys. I mean, again, we could try fighting one of them. It's not like we can't run away if we use the full power, but I really want to go do these missions, do the exploring over here this session, not necessarily fight these things. We don't have something awaits yet. I'll just hang out for 1 second here. We're desperately the ones to buy. I know we can buy them in Mount Palmerston though. That's why I wasn't as worried. In fact, I think they're cheaper in Mount Palmerston than they were in London. From what I recall. Still don't know what this is. We could trade lamentable relics. Oh yeah, we wanted to do this for sure. Okay, I'm glad that we came here. We wanted to get some of these unread logs. This is the first time we've actually gotten them. Offer the shivering monkeys a lamentable relic. They will lay it before their mournful shrine. In exchange, they offer Z-stained logbooks from a battered chest. Religion and science. An irritable monkey snatches the relic and cradles it to the matted fur on his chest. Another, from a cautious distance, flings 3 logbooks at you, one after another. Each is filled with scientific field notes. This one of Z soundings, this one of angler crab behavior, this one cataloging the fossilized sigils of codex. We now have 3 unread logs. Safer not to, eh? And that's all for now. Get our port report. And yeah, I think we'll end the session here today. We have more to do in this run, but it's going to be a bit of a longer run later next time, I believe. So, because we're gonna head to here to turn in those souls. I do want to stop at Anth again. We did some stuff around Anth. I want to confirm that they wanted the port report for Khan's Glory. I wasn't sure. I had some question marks in my notes. I wasn't sure exactly what they wanted there. And then we're looking for Frostfound, and just fill in the rest of this map up here as we go along. That's our goal for this voyage, is to basically fill in as much of this top section as we can. Find Frostfound, of course. And yeah, that'll be next time. So it was a really good session, I think. Actually, we didn't have anything really bad happen. We made it safely back from the Empire of Hands. Visited a few places we hadn't been before, like the Udder's Room. We got the clay man we needed from Polythreme. Found some more islands along through here. We turned in one of the pieces that the tobacconist wanted to achieve his dream of an underwater cigar. We got the next rack mission for sending ships to rack. We did a bunch of shipments here from the salt lines. Yeah, and then we've done quite a bunch of stuff today, just on this voyage, I should say. As we left London, we did a bunch of stuff here. We did the mirror catch box for the tireless mechanic here. Finished our tour at Vendor By, and we got the unread logs. We've been looking to get some of those. We found one of the things for our new officer about her finding her mother here. So we actually got quite a lot done up here. And this abyss was one of the next abyss sections we needed as well. So yeah, I mean, really good voyage, really good session today. And hopefully we can continue in that vein on the next one.